Joining me now is Ivan Bebek, Chair and CEO at Coppernico Metals. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you as well.
So let's dive right into it. You've got the Sombrero gold copper project in Peru, and you're advancing that rapidly. So give us a brief overview of the project and the overall strategy.
Yeah, sure. This is it's a real special one. It's in the southern Peru. It's on the Andahuaylas-Yari belt. This is a belt that has Las Bambas, the 11th largest producing copper mine in the world, and several other major mines that fall into similar category. Our thesis here was that the belt continued to the west for 200 kilometers, but it was not explored previously for the sake that there was volcanic cover. A volcano erupted and covered most of the western side of the belt. Erosion played its part. It eroded some areas where some rocks were sticking out of the ground. Not only did we find the rocks to be the same as the big mines next door and the targets to develop in scale as the ones next door, but we also saw the age of the formation of these rocks was the same as well. So we got onto this about 9 years ago. This area had some social challenges because no one had ever been to this part of the belt before. And we were able to bring agriculture into the Andes and create a lot of jobs, 100 jobs this year in this project, and turn the communities around and educate them and benefit them in a sustainable manner in cooperation with the Peruvian government to get our first drill permits about 8 months ago. And now we are in the process of expanding our drill permits. We just announced some incredible channel samples on surface of one of our very large targets, which has a lot of 1% copper and above, which is over tens of meters, which is really rare to see at this point of the copper cycle in terms of exploration. So a tremendously exciting project. The first target is an analog to Las Bambas, and we've barely scratched the surface.
So that target, is that you pronounce it Nioc or Nioc?
Nioc.
Okay.
Yep.
And so the channel sampling results, impressive. The stock popped on that. What can you flesh that out a little bit for us?
Yeah, so it's a bit frustrating because the opportunity, the value, and the scarcity of a system this big with not just the Nioc results, but other areas like Furaso, where we're going to drill next, there's a lot of probability for potential success, and we feel the stock should be much higher. It's not. We're coming out of a bad market. We have not been marketing ourselves for the past 6 months because we've been advancing the project, advancing permits, and building the strategy of how we're going to grow this company and create value for shareholders. The pop was about 35-40% from where we were. That's the first time I've seen, and we're seeing a lot of juniors companies start to react to good results, but I think the results still are not digested yet. And the scope of this system is not only large, it's also got incredibly high grade. So we just put that out. There's a lot more news to come here in the coming months as we work on our next permits to get the drill back out.
Right. So the team completed phase 1 drilling. As you said, you're still waiting for permits for phase 2. You've got 10 high priority targets. So where are you in the process then with that?
Yes. So we are. We can't be specific on time frame. Yeah. It is Peru. What I will say is we've got permits. We're expanding permits, which is a lot better than applying for first time permits. Because we spent 9 years working with the mine minister, getting different levels of permits, we are quite integrated with the government. Government's been extremely supportive of this project. It's a very high profile, not just in country, but globally, with a lot of the major mining companies following it. Some of them as shareholders of our company. Teck owns 9.9%. Newmont owns about 4% of the company as well. And several others are following the project. So we've taken the long way to a very good place. What I mean by that is we've been very patient and very considerate with the communities. We've also been very thorough with our permitting with the mine ministers. So we anticipate in the not too far future, 3 to 6 months, those permits to come. It's going to come as a surprise to everybody when it comes out. There's no anticipating the date, and that's just being fair on the timelines in Peru that are unpredictable.
Right. Now, Ivan, you've been very open about looking for a U.S. acquisition before, as you said, gold takes another leg up. So why is that so significant, and what kind of progress are you making there?
Sure. So when a country goes from neutral pro to very pro mining, as the U.S. just has with Trump's recent comments, and we're seeing and hearing about it, not only us, but several major mining companies are looking more aggressively in the U.S. If you look through some of the bigger mines in the world, they exist in the U.S. There's massive endowment potential. And our job as an explorer is to go create value for shareholders. And to get a U.S. asset, it would give us a lot of ability to create tremendous premium on any discovery that's made. We're sitting here in Beaver Creek. You can drive to any of the projects in the U.S. from your house, and that's something that's going to be a good counterbalance to working in South America. South America is a very good place to be for endowment, but they do have sometimes volatility in their elections. Peru's one of the better places in South America to be working in, but getting a U.S. asset in the backyard here would give us a chance to create tremendous value for shareholders, and we see endowment potential, and it would be a perfect complement to our portfolio as we reveal the potential at Sombrero.
So you and the team are obviously looking around, and you've had some talks, perhaps.
Yeah, we've looked at over 50 projects,
Yeah.
and some of our board members are formerly with BHP, so we've got a pretty good lens for some of the top miners in the world on our board. And we've narrowed down several things that we like a lot, so now we're just pursuing them, and we would hope to have our first acquisition this fall. We're well financed. We have capital into next July. We're not looking to raise money anytime soon. We have dilutables that would top our treasury for almost $5 million that are not far out of the money. So we're in a very good position. We're going to deliver a lot of growth through the advancement of permits, through more surface work on more big targets down in Peru, as we just saw, and we saw the impact on the share price, and then also a potential acquisition in the US. And this will really shape the stage for 2026, where we plan to drill not only Peru, but also be drilling US assets as well, pursuing copper and gold, which are both on the rise right now as we start to enter this exciting leg of the bull market.
Right. Now, lastly, you've had some past successes such as Caden Resources. And it's interesting, in an interview I recently saw you say you describe yourself as anxious, aggressive, and impatient. So how do those traits manifest themselves in terms of driving execution and achieving these catalysts?
Yeah, so the anxious part is the prize, and all of this comes from the prize. Sombrero is a half my career pursued asset. It keeps getting better each time we pull a new layer off of it. So that gives you that excitement that drives the team. It draws really good technical people to work with us. It draws money when you need money to finance. But the scale of what it could be, and I live in the what if category, that's how you finance these things and persevere for 9 years. That's what's got me really impatient. And I would love to drill yesterday all the holes, but I'm going to have to wait. From our perspective right now, in the next 18 months, we plan to drill at least 40 holes, 40 to 60 holes. And that's on the next 3 targets that we drill out of the 10 that you've referenced. So it's a big project. It has a chance to be a top 20 in the world. That's the early indications and from our beliefs and our potential. But it just keeps getting better as a project. So it's very exciting. And to time it perfectly with the metal prices rising, that's not us. We were not that clever. We just picked an asset that could make money in any market. It just happens to be what I think is going to be one of the best bull markets in history for commodities.
Wow, great update. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for having me. Pleasure.
Good stuff. Ivan Bebek, Chair, CEO at Coppernico Metals.